In Parshat Acharei Mot-Kedoshim, which is the first of our double Parsha this week, we read at the end the arayot, the forbidden relationships. And then in Parshat Kedoshim, we read the punishments that accompany those particular prohibitions. And it's that section from Acharei Mot-Kedoshim that we read on the afternoon of Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year. Why do we read it then? What has that got to do with holiness? And Rashi tells us at the beginning of Parshat Kedoshim, Kedoshim to you, be holy. How do you be holy? You're holy in the way that you conduct yourself in a sexual way, in a moral way. That brings holiness to a person. Who you are with, how you are with them, and how you behave in the act of intimacy. In fact, our sages referred to the act of marriage, which the Torah calls erusin. The Torah referred to it as kiddushim, which means sanctification. We lift ourselves up even in this very low area of a person's life, which can be a low area because just like animals mate, so too, well, human beings do the same thing. No, Hashem wants to lift it up. And therefore, we have the forbidden relationships. And the Talmud tells us a very interesting thing. It says when the Jewish people were first told about these prohibitions, they cried, they wept, they were very upset about it. They felt that it was very limiting. We couldn't marry this cousin, we couldn't marry that cousin. Now we can only marry distant cousins, etc., etc. They wept about it, they cried about it. It says they cried in their families, about family matters. And therefore the Talmud says, because they accepted that mitzvah upon themselves with weeping and crying and performing, so too throughout the generations, whenever there is a marriage, there is some type of an argument. Somebody who didn't get invited to the wedding, or somebody's upset with the bride or the groom or the mother, or whatever it may be. Because at the root of that mitzvah of marriage, the Jewish people accepted it right at the beginning with negativity. So there's always a tiny bit of negativity associated with it. On the contrary, when it comes to the mitzvah of Brit Milah, Avraham accepted upon himself with pure love and dedication. And he went to do it straight away. And therefore the Talmud says every time there's a bris, we have a celebration, we have a party. The baby's sore, but nevertheless we have a party, we have a celebration. Why? Because at the root of that mitzvah is an acceptance with love. And this is such an important message because I think it's educational to teachers and to parents. When you're instructing your children, when you're teaching them something about Judaism, some mitzvah that you're introducing them to, or Torah learning, try to always give it over in a positive way. Because that's the association that the child will have with that mitzvah throughout their lives. You always have to look at how initially it was accepted. If it was accepted with love and excitement, they'll always be excited about it. But if you pushed it on them and you made it unpleasant, they'll often have that association for the rest of their life. That's what the sages are telling us. Look at the root, look at the beginning. The way that it was initially accepted is the way that it will continue to be practiced throughout the generations. And therefore, as a parent and as an educator, we have to make sure that we educate our children in Judaism in the way that's most positive and something that will stand in good stead for them for the rest of their life. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.